is 11. It is 11. So I don't want to stall for too long here. We'll do the intro and then we'll get straight into shuffling the brackets so people can get a move on. 11. All right, sounds good. Let's get the blocker up so you can all see what our quick intro is. And like I said, we really got to get this tournament moving. There's a lot of people waiting on us today. Faction War! Last night, we had the first qualifier. It was for the 8 mercenary slots. If you don't know what that means, to have a bracket of 32 with 24 factions, we need 8 extra slots. So try to just get whatever factions get to the top 8 of a different tournament. Also to give different time zones a chance. The big one is in the European time zone. It's kind of tradition, but also just there's a much bigger player base in the European time zone on a weekend because some of the North American people can wake up and play a little earlier, and the EU people are there. Because if you do it in the NA time zone, which I have been doing, I think Australia has an okay time playing, and it's nighttime in NA, but EU it's like 2 in the morning, so hardly anyone's awake. So we do the eight extra spots in the NA time zone, which we did last night. I qualified on Skaven, so did Father Ram, so we discussed it, and I decided to go with Vampire Coast. I have been enjoying them a lot, and he can stay on the Skaven, because we don't want 3 Skaven in the faction war. Blood Penguin also qualified for Empire. Bjorn on Demons of Chaos. Coolest Guy, Greenskins. JMG won the whole thing on Ogres, so that was pretty cool. Gotrek Starbreaker, formerly known as Sabris Regnum, on his Dwarves. Platypus on Kislev, and Father Ram on those Skaven. So today, we have the other 24 factions. This is the much more traditional qualifier you are used to. I have a whole bunch of pings. Okay. I have a whole bunch of pings. And I'm wondering which of them are important. Okay. So, anyway, today is the bracket you're much more used to. We have all these people signed up. Whoever goes the furthest as each faction becomes that faction's representative for the traditional slots. So let's say we have AC Maiden on High Elves, and then I know Black Knight is on High Elves somewhere else in here. There he is. Let's say Black Knight loses to Berserk, and AC Maiden beats Hardress Warrior, and then loses to Last Mohican. AC Maiden made it further, so AC Maiden would be the High Elf representative. Right? Sound good? So we have 5 people who have not checked in. Let me see if any of them are ones that told me to check them in if they were late. Shogunik has not reached out. Green one has not reached out. Ponya, Thunderwolf, and Goji. And I did ping people. It's already 11:02. We got people waiting on us, so let's get this going. I'll process the check-in results. And now we gotta do a bit of shuffling around so that everyone gets a round 1 matchup that isn't abysmal for their faction. So let's just get a second here. I know Persian Warrior told me he needed a buy round, so I'm going to swap him with Qualiduck just because he just got home from work, so he told me he needed a second. All right, Dark Elves versus Demons of Chaos. That is playable. Lizardmen versus Empire, playable. Dark Elves, Wood Elves, playable, but not great. Demons of Chaos, Dark Elves. Also playable. Funny that matchup's happening twice. Greenskins Empire is playable. VP Dwarves isn't great. So what we'll do... Let's do VP Wood Elves. And then the Dwarves Dark Elves I still got to separate out. VC Lizardmen, that's abysmal. Alright, what can we do about this? Dwarves versus Lizardmen is more playable. VC Dark Elves, not great, but it is playable. Tzeentch Bretonia is fine. Kislev Dwarves. Big Chunguses, I assume that means Ogres versus Chaos Dwarves is okay. High Elves Beastmen is okay. High Elves Skaven is bad for the High Elves. High Elves Tomb King is fine. VC Warriors of Chaos is pretty bad. So let's try and get High Elves VC. Warriors of Chaos Skaven. Still not great. Empire Slanesh. Lizardmen, Warriors of Chaos. A lot of fucking Warriors of Chaos today. Okay. we have some stuff that still needs fixing. Tzeentch bread is fine. Tzeentch bread's fine. Where's Cast Lizardman's okay. There was one up here that was bad. VC Dark Elves is just not good. Can we swap out Kislev here and make this better? Kislev VC? Yeah, that looks a bit better. Cool. All right, we fixed up there. What needed fixing down here? Slaanesh Empire is fine-ish. High Elves VC is pretty bad. Warriors of Chaos Skaven is not great. Okay, High Elves VC, Warriors of Chaos Skaven, and High Elves and VC both need to avoid Skaven because it's bad for different reasons. What can we do here? Slaanesh. Damn it, this is hard. Can I get Bretonnia in here to swap some shit out? Can we do... Bretonnia versus Skaven is plenty playable. And then Warriors of Chaos Tzeentch. We could do Tzeentch High Elves, Warriors of Chaos versus VC. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah! Now we're cooking with gas. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to check those pings just in case somebody is like really upset with their shuffling job. Okay. So we are good to go. Start tournament. And it should be fine. Kislev versus Dwarves. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We did our best. We did our best to make sure nobody got completely dicked on round one. As you just saw in live time, we did our best. It's complicated, so hopefully people are okay. Pillar of Bone, and I haven't checked chat. Obviously, you've seen what I've been looking at. You're looking at my screen right now. Everything is best of one, so today should go pretty fast. We'll do a mix of maps, so it's not all large open maps, but it's also not all small, teeny tiny rush maps. So everybody just gets what they get. And then we'll do the Lost Crater as the finals, because that's my favorite map in the whole game. All right. Let's get on with it. Now... I need to pick somebody to watch. What would be fun? Alfredino and Black Knight could actually be pretty fun. All right. While I get that answer, let's see something more interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Who already qualified? There are 36 people signed up, 24 factions, which means 12 have auto-qualified. I only see one Empire. Nope, there's 3 Empire. Okay. Ooh, 3 Empire. That's actually... I think Pink Pony Knight is the only dwarf. Yeah, so Pink Pony Knight's just in. The boy's just in, the mad lad. Alfredino, are you the only Tzeentch? He's the only Tzeentch. Alfredino just auto-qualifies. I find that so funny, man. A lot of VC, too. This is going to be super interesting to go back through and figure out everyone, because there's 3 VCs, there's 3 Empires, and we already had overlap. I don't know if I've seen a Nurgle. Yeah, we don't have a Nurgle. I definitely have some things in mind for how to deal with that, but that is very funny. All right. I'm with you guys now. Hello. Oh, 10 euros from Big Friday. Faction War. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Do you randomize which faction you use 2 times in the bracket? The 8 mercenary qualifiers you see on your screen right now, they were in part of a different tournament, and that'll determine who the mercenary factions are. Next edible stream when? Next time I miss time it like that. Yes, Rainy Frog, yes. Wait, you're against Blake? No, I don't think I did anything. Isn't High Elf VC one of like the most lopsided matchups ever? I avoided it. I dodged it. Okay, Salinator has to play Dark Elves or Demons of Chaos. Yeah. Yeah, the Dark Elf matchup can be kind of playable with Vargeists and shit. Not even kind of playable. It's just, it's boring to watch, but it's playable. Just go steal an old Void Laws build. Dude, back in the day, Void Laws / Mofet, because they were both playing in the same time, but the Void Laws Mofet games versus Dark Elves and the Berserk playing Vampire Counts versus Dark Elves, those 2 players, man, they made that shit look unwinnable for Dark Elves, but then anyone else playing Vampire Counts looked like they just couldn't play the game. It was brutal. Void, no matter what you feel about Void, no matter how you feel about Void, we all acknowledge he was very fucking good, dude. He made certain matchups just like look really brutal. And whenever I did play with him in like tournaments or stuff, he would win both sides of the matchups we would play. Like I would play, you know, Skaven versus VC, and it felt unwinnable. Okay. Dealing with some stuff. Black Knight and Alfredino will be here in a second. Everybody's just finding their opponents, and I'm busy dealing with the first round of a tournament like this is always a little hectic, as people are asking me if the bracket's live, and people are asking about their first round matchups and stuff, so, yeah. The thing is, there's no corn. It's true. There is no corn. It's true. No shade to Alfredino whatsoever. Love him. Great guy. I kind of hope he loses because he's already... There's a big because. Because he's already auto-qualified on Tzeentch. You know, he'll be in the faction war. And I fucking love Black Knight. And Black Knight is my clanmate. So I gotta root for my clanmate. And I love this guy. And High Elves is actually a contentious spot because there's multiple High Elves and stuff, so... Yeah. What the fuck? I'll check after stream. The Dino versus the Rick. I think he means Imric. Oh, the Dino. Alfredino, gotcha. Is the prize for the winner another great artwork? Yes. So if you win the faction war, not the qualifier, if you win the actual faction war, my artist friend, well, I'm purchasing it from him, so he's not like doing it as a favor, but I will be commissioning my artist friend to do another work for us. Where was Phoenix King's? Phoenix King, where the fuck did I put yours? One second. There it is. Phoenix King won the last faction war on the Dark Elves, so he had this piece done of Lokir Fellheart with a little banner that declared his victory. So whoever wins will get another piece of art commissioned for them. Even if they didn't use the character in the faction war, they can still do it. I'd prefer it to be of the faction they won the faction war with, but like if you, Alfredino wins the faction war on Tzeentch, and he's like, I absolutely 100% want to commission a Reponse thing, even though I was Tzeentch. I don't care, man. It's your prize. You do what you want. But I would presume you're playing a faction that you enjoy, so that you'd probably want art from them. So whoever wins the whole faction war gets that. How come you didn't get use Skaven slot? Itatsuke? So General Lokir. That's really funny, Phoenix King. I love that. All right. Someone's mentioning many things. Anyway, Tatsuke, sorry. People ask me this. So I was talking to Father Ramram after the stream. We both qualified on Skaven, and I didn't want 3 Skaven in the faction war. So I just messaged him, and I was like, hey, man, how you doing? And I talked to him about what his factions are, and he said his main is Skaven. So I just told him he can have it, and I'll play Vampire Coast or something, because I've played in a lot of Faction Wars. Even back when Turin was hosting it, I played in Faction Wars. And I play a lot of factions on stream for you guys. So I'm pretty comfortable on most factions. And with a newer face in the Faction War, I want to give everybody their best shot, right? Rather than having them like, hey, I want to play on Skaven, so you play your 5th, 6th, or 7th best faction, and you're already a newer player. So hope you have fun on the big stream that everybody loves. You know, going up against fucking Alfredino's Tzeentch, let's say, and you're playing your 6th, 7th best faction, you're already a newer player, and you're like, well, this was cool and fun. I'm glad I had a great time showing up for the faction war, to get completely face rolled or something. So I want everyone to have their best day and at least have the best chance of, even if you lose, like putting on a good show and feeling good about your performance. So with that in mind, I was like, dude, 100% take Skaven. Do Skaven by Blight Proud, because, you know, if I get dicked round one, I'm used to it. I lose on stream all the time. And while I get salty about it, sure, I do get salty about it, but I'm used to it. And my time in the limelight has passed. I'm washed up. A new generation of Skaven mains must rise. Okay, the Black Knight Classic. Haven't seen him for a while. Hope he is still on form. He does have Imric My man was taking Imric before he was even meta. Lifecaster. 3 archers. Some Dragon Princes. Is it 2? 2 Dragon Princes. 3 Illyrian Reaver archers. And a front line of 5 Spearmen. Cool. What's the current meta race? Unknown. Tzeentch, Grand Cathay, Ogres, Bretonia, and probably Kislev is up there. The first 4 I'm confident in. Kislev is... Well, I suppose you weren't asking about, like, top tier. You're just asking about meta. So those top 4 are pretty well defined. And then I would say right behind them are Kislev, Dark Elves. And then it gets really tricky. I would say maybe Beastmen. Beastmen and Zongors actually has been feeling really good. So you playing again sometime to try and qualify? No, I'm qualified as the Vampire Coast. See, look at the blocker. I'm at the very top. HBYY on Vampire Coast. I just switched to the Coast because I've been enjoying them a lot. And to not have too many Skaven. So I didn't kick myself out of the tournament. I switched which faction I was playing. All right. On the other side for Tzeentch, we have the brand new shiny Zongors, 5 of them. The Shrieking Skyrays Screamers, the Knights of Immolation Doom Knights, Chromatic Abominations Blue Horrors, a single Flamer of Tzeentch, the Mutilith Vortex Beast, and of course Kairos Fate Weaver with Pendulum and Regrowth. This is nice. I really like this. This is the DLC build. The Mutilith Vortex Beast, all 5 Zongors, and then the buffed Pendulum for Kairos, plus the Shrieking Skyrays. I like it. I actually think the High Elves have what they need to deal with this build. I would not be shocked if the High Elves won it, because Mutilith Vortex Beast does not enjoy archers or spears, which the High Elves have plenty of. And we are off. Kairos without blue fire is interesting. While I have been enjoying Pendulum, I really struggle to not take blue fire when I'm playing as Kairos because of the life leeching passive. You want to cast as many cheap spells as possible, so I usually go Regrowth and then blue fire just for that little bit of damage. Mutilith Vortex Beast and some of the Zongors taking a little bit of damage on their shields. No big deal. They're just backing off as they move up. The Flamers are a bold pick. They're going to try and fire at the Spearmen. Let's see how much damage they manage to do. Yeah, that looks about right. That looks like what I expected. As Imric dives in, ooh, this could be nasty. He does have fire resistance and missile resistance, so that is really helping him. Look at how little fucking damage that guy's taking. I don't have the blocker up, right? Okay, good. The stream is behind. Look at how little damage that's taking. The poor Flamers are just trying to get damage out, and they ain't doing shit. Oh, God, I hate Flamers. I mean, yeah, Imric has fire resist and all that stuff. We already mentioned it. God, I hate Flamers. Some Dragon Princes forgotten in the trees right now, as I'm sure Black Knight's attention is much more focused on this fight and trying to get Imric out of here, though Kairos ended up taking almost as much damage as Imric. Really good bomb drop from the Knights of Immolation and a good Pendulum from Kairos earlier is punishing these archers. Only one of them is left with a good amount of HP. Imric gets up into the sky, throws down the Star Dragon Breath attack. Looks like at the Mutilith Vortex Beast, but one of its animations causes it to dodge, and now he's surrounded by the Knights of Immolation. So Imric is in a little bit of trouble. Another Pendulum is going to hit the archers, and Alfredino taking those guys down very quickly. I said 3 archers earlier, but apparently there are 4. I must have missed one. Dragon Princes have been unforgotten. They're coming out of the trees now, and the damage value is very even if the balance of power is in the favor of Alfredino, and a really nice Shrieking Skyrays special ability finishes off those archers, shattering them outright. A Regrowth's coming in for Imric. And the High Elves aren't feeling too good. A lot of their front line has taken significant damage as Imric lands on the Flamers. He is pretty much done with their shit. He's just going to land on them and take them out at this point. I worry about killing those Zongors. The Spearmen certainly can't do it, and the archers have other things to be doing with their time. So we'll see how that goes. Imric is down here. His Illyrian Reavers are really bunched up with him. I wonder, Knights of Immolation will come in. Now this is going to be a brutal surround. We are about to lose a ton of skirmish cav for the High Elves. Elsewhere, people are moving around, doing their best. Illyrian Reaver's about to take out the Flamers. And another beautiful pendulum's coming, but ooh, nice dodge here from Black Knight. Takes a little bit of damage still, but he dodged what he could. And Dragon Princes fighting Zongors. The Zongors are beating their brakes in. Oof. Beating their brakes in? I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I'm listening to the same commentary you are, and I know it's shit. Gaze of Fate kept the Dragon Princes momentarily detained, but they will finish their objective of killing those flamers once and for all. I have said that those flamers would die several times, but now I meant it. As Tzeentch is ahead on the balance of power and on the damage value by just a bit. Imric's going to have to find a way to turn this game around. Mutalith Vortex Beast still full health, hasn't even gotten through the shields yet. But honestly, the bigger problem is going to be those Zongors. Look at them all. There's only one of the Zongors that's even wounded after all this fighting. The rest are all just completely chilling. Dragon Princes are feeling the burn. Archers have been feeling the burn of a lot of pendulums and that nasty Shrieker ability. Oh. Tzeentch is pulling ahead. And I fail to see how the High Elves will come back. Maybe I'm just being a little pessimist. Maybe I've been scarred by too many Tzeentch games where they've completely rocked my shit. This is looking a little Jover. As another pendulum routes off two archers that were shooting at the Mutalith Vortex Beast. This Vortex Beast has to be careful. One thing I have mentioned several times is that he takes a lot of damage when he's sitting in spears, so nice job. Alfredino's just going to pack him out. Ain't going to sit there for too much longer. And this could be a fuck-up. Oh, no. Dragon Princes and Imric onto Kairos. Does he have Lord of Dragons? He has Lord of Dragons on his character. I don't know if he has it up, but he could reduce Kairos' stats to literally nothing. And Kairos might have a hard time getting away from this. What? How did he just take off? I saw him get hit by Imric and the Dragon Princes were surrounding him. How did he just take off? What the fuck, Kairos? That's some shit. That is some shit, my friend. You get back in there. You get back into that pile of Dragon Princes. No, no. You fucked up and you will pay the price, you cheating bitch. Absolutely not. That's it. Alfredino's disqualified for fucking hacking. It's over. It's over. This man's career is over. He is banned from all future tournaments because that was some of the biggest horseshit I have ever seen in my entire life. As Imric is back onto Kairos. Ain't gonna let him get away with nothing. And I agree. Kick his ass, Imric. Kick his ass. As for the rest of this battle, it looks like it's going pretty poorly for the sides of the High Elves. Even if Kairos dies somehow, you still have a half-health Mutalith Vortex Beast. You have a ton of Zongors and a full-health Knights of Immolation rolling around. Samarek, truer words have never been spoken. Bounce power is shifting further and further away from the High Elves, I would have to agree, while Imric just beats the brakes off of the Mutalith Vortex Beast. There it is. There it is. The brakes comment comes back. Human Boy says something dumb and awkward. He doesn't run from it. He doubles the fuck down. Anyway. Imric is slapping the Mutalith Vortex Beast. Oh, nasty chunk. And the Dragon Prince is diving in, too. Is actually going to route that guy away. So good job, Imric. Good job. I don't know what Imric does about all the Zongors, though. That's, like, notoriously a dragon's problem, is you can't just sit and fight infinite infantry. It's not a bad problem. It is a problem. Mutalith Vortex Beast does shatter. Its Mortis Engine is still hurting all the Dragon Princes as it runs away, but now it will fall off. Imric is still dueling with Kairos, so some archers on the high ground try and help out. Urson's blood really helped fix up Kairos. He can hack the present now, too. Yeah, dude. Archers trying to get a little bit of damage in. But I think it's over. You feel like the High Elf player panicked too much? It is possible. Possible. Imric's still trying to fight it out while I make sure our next round does not start without us. Alright. Sorry, checking on that. I'll keep an eye on the bracket over there. So Imric's still after Kairos. Balance of power is so close to army losses, but not quite. And damage value is very even, considering how fucked the High Elves look, which I find quite interesting. Lord of Dragons is on the Night of Immolation, but all the Dragon Princes that were nearby are already routed off. Are there like High Elf units I'm missing or something? No, it is really just Imric. He is trying to fight Kairos once again. Kairos is like inside of him, which made that that whole interaction quite awkward. Zillion Reavers are going to jump onto the Chromatic Abominations with Imric as well. Could get some demonic stability crumbling there. Could. 9 leadership for those little guys. But a big rock drop from the Knights of Immolation will get rid of all the Illyrian Reavers. And I think once those guys actually rout, army losses will hit for poor Imric. Because we already had the victories in our grasp thing, so I think if you lose both those Illyrian Reavers, that'll tip it enough. Just not enough. Just barely. Oh, Dragon Princes are back! They never give in, they never surrender, but a regrowth on the Knights of Immolation is just the doom that we needed. Goodbye, sweet Imric. Tzeentch is ascendant. Mutilate Vortex Beast, 2,600 value. Kairos, 1,800. Knights of Immolation, 1,700. Flamers got an impressive 1,100. Despite how little it looked like they were doing. Zongors did really well. Really well considering how healthy they still were at the end. The other side, Imric tried to carry the whole game on his back. Dragon Princes did struggle to get their value. Illyrian Reaver Archers, basic Archers, meh. Because, like, I don't know. The only good target for them was like the Mutilate Vortex Beast. Everything else was heavily armored and shielded. All right. We are going to go spectate. We're going to go spectate Empire versus Dark Elves, Strat game versus Lamb Sauce King, because Strat is a very, very good player who we do not get on stream very often, so I will do my best to get over there now. Grieven? Yeah. Yep. Okay. What are we doing here? Dark Elves Empire. El fucking Classico. This actually is a classic. Dark Elves Empire has been one of those weird even matchups since game 2. Back when Marathi was the only person you ever took. We do have some more wagons. It's been a while since I've seen you, old friend. War wagon. And an old friend there was used sarcastically. Fuck you, war wagons. Go to hell. Go to hell. On the other side is the Dark Elves. I'm kind of surprised not to see some Reaper Bolt Throwers. I know certain players... Was it Coops? It might have been Coops. It might have been someone else. Someone took like a Dark Elf build with 3 or 4 Bolt Throwers and just instantly killed the War Wagons. They found that very funny. But the High Elves Empire? What is happening today? I'm just dying inside. All right. The Kite Empire. We have 2 Pistoliers. They have been making a comeback recently, and I do enjoy seeing some Pistolier action. 1 Outrider with grenade launchers, 4 Empire Knights, 3 War Wagons, and 4 regular Spearmen. In the sky, we have Boris Todbringer and his best friend, the Deathcaster with Fate of Una and Spirit Leech. Yeah, Coops. Nice. I remembered. I wasn't confident that I remembered, but I did remember. On the other side, for Strat Game and the Dark Elves, we have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark with Soul Stealer. We have some Dread Spears, including the Hellebronai. We have 4 Black Arc Corsairs. We have 3 Witch Elves, a Manticore, the Crows of Cain, Harpy, Regiment of Renown, and 2 Dark Riders. A very infantry-heavy build, which I kind of get. I'm super worried how much damage this Outrider with Grenade Launcher is going to do. But pretend the Outrider with Grenade Launchers doesn't exist. Your War Wagons are going to use all of their ammunition, and there's still going to be most of a Dark Elf army left. Their ammo is not very good against clearing out a lot of infantry. Oh, we have the Bolt Fiends. Hello, little Bolt Fiends. You're going to get Fate of Buna. Can you say Fate of Buna? Can you say Fate of Buna? Ah, they'll figure it out. Anyway, once the Bolt Fiends are taken out, you could run into the problem of just cycle charging cavalry over and over again. Oof, those Dark Riders got fucked up by something. Pistoliers firing into them. Outriders grenade launchers got a nice forward-facing volley. And Empire Knights are going to side charge them. That might be a rest in peace for that 450 gold unit. That is going to actually catch some Pistoliers napping a little bit, though they will instantly rout, so it's really not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Bolt Fiends firing into the Empire Knights, getting a lot of good damage there, and the War Wagons are just trying to track this dragon in the sky. Pistoliers fleeing, but it looks like a Manticore is directly on their tail, trying to catch them. Doubt it'll do too much damage. Man, the Empire Knights that are being sacrificed for this cause are doing their damnedest. Boris is going to fight the Dark Elf Dragoncaster, and while he's a better melee combatant, she does have Soul Stealer and a Manticore friend. She's actually going to try and ignore him and go on the ground, which is bold, right in front of 3 War Wagons. If they can focus fire her with Boris already attacking her, that could be a lot of damage quite quickly. 1 Empire Knight's already getting routed off. More Dark Riders tried to catch up to these Pistoliers, but were intercepted by Empire Knights. The infantry of the Dark Elves is moving forever forward, but here we go. A Soul Stealer trying to keep the Dark Elf Sorceress alive while she attempts to run away. Soul Stealer hits a lot of great targets, but the War Wagons are all firing at her. She's got to get out of here. And the Bolt Fiends, not even a Fate of Buna. It's actually just Empire Knights that are going to straight up murder these poor guys. That is a big loss as far as the build goes. Pistolier still nice and safe. War Wagons perfectly healthy. And the grenade launchers are under duress. Now this is a little risky. The Amethyst Wizard is overcommitting to try and keep the Sorceress on the ground. If he got surrounded by those Dread Spears, he could actually take a lot of damage. Speaking of a lot of damage, Boris is also not feeling so great. Supreme Sorcerer is having a really tough time getting off the ground. The Crows of Cain are also routed off. Bounce of Power goes back to the middle as more Dark Elf infantry is just trying to find a fight, find someone to deal with. Empire Knights in the back are rampaging due to these Witch Elves. So they will probably die, but how many Bolt Fiends will be left over afterwards is a very important question. Manticore gets dove on, and man, I feel like the Empire is really, really in a good spot. I feel like they're just chilling. As War Wagons charge down to the Dread Spears, trying to fill the chariot part of their missile chariot. Supreme Sorceress of Dark is after the Amethyst Wizard. A Spirit Leech, though, with Pistoliers firing up at her, is going to be a lot of damage, and she'll need another Soul Stealer soon to stay alive. Boris is on her ass. He is slightly faster, and he has charge bonus. Bolt Fiend's going to try and fire into the War Wagons. That is a prime target for them. War Wagons are actually very squishy if you can shoot them, while they're super tanky in melee just due to animation jank. Sorceress did get caught by Boris. With the rear attack and his debuff, she's going to rout for sure. And there's no range units to pressure. And the Manticore is busy somewhere else. So she's completely on her own. I think she is just off the battlefield no matter what, with the Amethyst Wizard on her ass. The war... Actually, no. With Boris fucking off, there's one angle here. If the War Wagons shoot the Amethyst Wizard accidentally and rout him, she can come back. That would be very funny. Manticore's up in the sky. He's going to chase some stuff. More Dark Elf Infantry is running around. But they lost their caster lady. Doesn't look like the Amethyst Wizard's going to let her come back either. Does he just, like, terror out for no reason? That would be very funny. I know he already terror outed recently, so he's probably immune for a little bit longer. Witch Elves and Blacker Corsairs fighting these cavalry while Hellebronai Dread Spears come to help out. And how are we at for kiting units? Pistoliers running out of ammo. Not feeling too good. War Wagons chilling. Tons of ammo left and a lot of HP. I don't see the grenade launchers, so it looks like the grenade launchers were actually killed off. Outright. Dark Elf Supreme Sorceress is almost off the map. I don't think there's any chance of her coming back now. Balance power shifts heavily in the favor of the Empire, and I do tend to agree. What can man do against such relentless War Wagon? 20 shots left on all of them. Alright, she's off officially. That'll lead to a leadership spike. And a leadership spike plus Boris Dodbringer is a death sentence. All 3 High Elves are out first round. Really? Grenade launchers were not killed off. You hovered over them. Really? Where did they go? I don't see them, but it's possible I just missed them. Pistoliers are out of ammo. Well, at least one of them is. The other one has a little bit left. Thought you did at least. I think they're gone, but they could still be around. Who knows? Fate of Buna onto a very healthy Witch Elf. That's pretty good. Pretty solid. Want to kill off those rampaging guys, because they're the only thing that can stop your Empire Knights from cycle charging is, you know, if they charge in and just get rampaged. Ooh, and this War Wagon might get rampaged right here on the Slam Sauces. Careful, which he just gets away. And a Spirit Leash onto the other Witch Elf. Wow. They really don't want those guys to be alive. Boris is routing off the Hellebronai and the Manticore. Army losses is around the corner. And the War Wagons continue to go burr. GG. Dark Elf Caster Lord did okay. Bolt Fiends honestly did alright. Witch Elves, Blacker Corsairs, mixed value overall. Dread Spears, mixed value overall. Dark Riders just got run down. The other side for Boris Todbringer and the Kite Boys, he and the Amethyst Wizard both did fine. War Wagons honestly didn't get crazy value. Empire Knights all paid for themselves. Grenade Launcher did okay. Pistoliers actually got really good value. And the Empire Spearmen just got murdered. GG. GG. All right, I gotta find our next game. Take a look at the bracket while I find us a game. I have contacted Imperator Mortis and Nalnish, so we might get to see some Tomb Kings versus Warriors of Chaos action down there. Things are progressing. The bracket's still too large to easily just talk about, so just take a look and see what you see. Hoop, hoop, but up, but up. I'm looking for Alexander versus Nalnish. All right. So we'll hop in there. Just called Faction War. We're in. All right, I was answering some messages. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. BRB, while these guys make their builds. So, one moment, please. Oh, actually, oh shit. Okay. Good luck. Good luck, Imperator Mortis. If you realize what's on Warriors of Chaos, it's gonna be tough. Oh boy. I'm back. Will Warriors of Chaos handshake some honorable build, or will it be a degen blob? Good, Lil Trill. Good. Yeah, Tian. Yeah, someone else was on Skaven, so I just went with a different faction.
Look at him making his face. When
Daddy.
I took.
All right, there's a puppy. I got to see a puppy. That made me happy. We're getting into game, ladies and gentlemen. And Herald Hammerstorm is fucking here. I don't know how the Tomb Kings deal with this. I don't know how the Tomb Kings deal with this. Now, I will say, for Nalnish's build, or Borgesh, whatever you want to call him, Nalnish's build is not super horribly degenerate. Like, we could get some terrifying blobs. So I think it's pretty fine, but yeah. This is a toughie for the undead to get through Herald Hammerstorm. He removes the undead attribute so he can get undead to rout. Then he lowers their leadership even further to get them to crumble rout faster. Ugh. Now, if I check the bracket, I believe this is the furthest Tomb Kings have gotten. Yes. So no matter what happens, this is our Tomb Kings representative. But Warriors of Chaos is actually still in contention. Hanadin's is on Warriors of Chaos, and he is in this round as well. So if Nulnish wants to represent them, he does need this win. Alright, Tomb Kings are mostly set up, so we can start going through their build. We have 2 Sepulchral Stalkers, one of which is the Eyes of the Desert Regiment of Renown, 2 Shot Great Bows, one of which is the Chosen of the Gods Regiment of Renown, a Screaming Skull Catapult, the Kepler Guard, a front line of Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen, 2 Carrion up in the sky. I believe I said we have a Nehekar Horseman. We do have a Nehekar Horseman. And we have Ark in the Black with Spirit Leech and Fate of Yuna, and he is going to need to Spirit Leech the shit out of Herald Hammerstorm. On the other side, for them, pretty simple build. 2 Chaos Knights. Ooh, 1 Chaos Knight of Khorne, another Chaos Knight. Archaon, the Everchosen with Spirit Leech, and Burning Head, Herald Hammerstorm, and then a bunch of Chaos Warriors mixed with Zongors. The spooky, scary Zongors of legend. Anybody else seeing this formation for the Chaos Warriors right now? That doesn't look right. That dog don't hunt, Seymour. The advance is going to be very brutal for the forces of the Warriors of Chaos, as sides trade Spirit Leeches, but Chosen of the Gods are going to fuck up some Zongors and Chaos Warriors. No caster if you don't need one when you have ultimate buddies. Oh, for your theoretical one. I was like, yes, Archaon right there. That's a caster. But you're not talking about this game. Basic Ushopti are also firing at Herald. They're not fucking around. They're like, this guy needs to die immediately. Which I find very funny. Chaos Warriors, half HP, and Carrion are nearby to maybe rear charge them and get their leadership even lower. Sporkle Stalkers trying to fire at these Chaos Knights, but those guys are uphill and in the trees, and that'll block a lot of the incoming damage. They're just going to actually back off, not really deal with this at all. Screaming Skull Catapults and the Chosen of the Gods continuing to fire. Another Spirit Leech onto Herald, who is already down to almost half HP. So good start here for the Tomb Kings, though it is going to be harder to deal damage to him once he gets into that melee. That'll be pretty tough. Chaos Knights of Khorne do so much damage on the charge with those Skeleton Warriors. It's hard to find their health bar right now, but I saw a giant chunk come off of those guys. And in the distance, Archaon and some Chaos Warriors find the Sporkle Stalkers. That's honestly not the worst thing in the world, though, for Imperator Mortis, because that keeps Archaon with his Burning Head away from this front line, giving them just a little bit more time to last. But here come the terror routes from Herald. The skeletons are routing. Another Spirit Leech onto him, though. He's getting down to that 2,000 HP mark. Sporkle Stalkers still kiting out Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights. And some of this chaff is going to have to be brought up to the northern side where everything's going to shit. But it looks like the Screaming Skull Catapults are just going to be shut down here any second. As Archaon continues to busy himself in the trees trying to kill that one Sporkle Stalker. Imperator Mortis is currently way up on damage value. And on the bounce power, he's doing okay. But until Herald is dead, I am extremely concerned for the Tomb Kings in this game. Ushopti summons coming out right on top of Harry, and that is a great choice with their anti-lard. For God's sake, Seymour Boy, get it together. Armor-piercing anti-infantry plus Spirit Leeches. They should be able to get a little bit more DPS onto him. The undead front line is holding for now. I really do think it is a mistake for Nulnish to have Archaon up here fighting those Sporkle Stalkers rather than down here. Think of a Burning Head down this line. That would be beautiful. It gets so much value and allow your Chaos Warriors and Zongors to push through onto Chosen of the Gods and such. Scream Skull Catapult is almost dead as those Zongors really kill him down. Herald is at 1,000 HP. I forgot he's unbreakable, so you actually are going to have to kill him off entirely, which will be a little tough. Imperator Mortis keeping a lead on that damage value, but it is closing, and it is closing fast. As Sporkle Stalker ROR continues to fire now at Chaos Warriors. How are our Chaos Knight friends doing? One of them is very healthy. The other one is currently routing off as we speak. Chaos has made a bit of a comeback in this northern side of the fight. We have healthy Chaos Warriors and Zongors rallying around the Chaos Knights and Herald. And Archaon is coming at last. He finished off those Sepulchral Stalkers, and he is here. And I think I see where I want a Burning Head right here. Would kill 3 units, because a lot of these skeletons right here are in there. Oh, come on. Do it. Do it! Burning Head down all these chaff. It's just so satisfying. There it is. There it is! Harry's getting Spirit Leeched. I don't want to miss that, but oh, it's just so juicy. These Skeleton Warriors try and dodge, but their 2 Skeleton Spearmen compatriots are too slow. They can't get out of here. Meanwhile, Harry is down to sub 500 HP as these Ushapti struggle to just kill him. But their summon wears off, and they are defeated. Ark in the Black trying to run away from Archaon. As the Ushapti line up shots for him. 1 more Spirit Leech will kill off Harry, so I don't think Harry is too much of a factor anymore. It is really about Archaon and these leftover infantry. Surprised the Zongors are doing so poorly, leadership-wise. Normally they're actually quite stalwart. About to lose an Ushapti Greatbow, though, with a lot of ammo, so I expect to see that balance of power rocket back into either the middle or maybe even Chaos's favor once these guys die more officially. Chaos Knights charging downhill at the Chosen of the Gods before they can get any shots off. And there is the death knell for Harry. No way he lives through that Spirit Leech. Absolutely no shot. So he will die. But the Chaos Knights a corner back for a last-minute save to make sure that these Ushaptis can't just sit and fire downhill at those other Chaos Knights. Sporkle Stalkers trying to get some damage out here onto those Chaos Knights with their last 2 volleys they have left. Archaon is at half HP. Another Spirit Leech onto Ark in the Black. And since the Ushapti summon is out, we know that the Tomb Kings have rolled through all of their healing passives, so Arkan's HP is now very finite. Damage value continues to close as the Warriors of Chaos and Borgash claw their way back into this game. The Chaos Knights of Khorne will hold as long as they need to until those Ushapti are dead. And I did warn you to look at that balance of power as those guys are getting killed off, as Arkan's getting lower. That balance of power is starting to look real friendly. The pistol with 1 shot from Pirates of the Caribbean. Only thing that can, for the Warriors Cast, is Burning Head on the Kepler Guard. Yeah, I mean, you could Burning Head the Kepler Guard for sure. For sure. If High Elves all went out round 1, hang on. Figuring something out. Y'all can see Archaon trying to chase Arkan. Maiden. And a Phoenix King. Okay, I know what to do here. Okay, sorry. I had to answer a message about how the Faction War tiebreakers work. What did I miss while I was doing that? Chosen of the Gods are dead, it looks like. The other Ushapti is just about gone. And that balance of power is all of a sudden Chaos favored. The Kepler Guard are not doing well versus all these Chaos Warriors and Zongors. They're getting real low, Mr. Krabs. As Archaon has lost a bit of health, looks like Arkan continues to Spirit Leech him as a nasty Burning Head will almost finish off the Kepler Guard. Get them way into that crumbling point. Minus 46. If they hit minus 55, they will disappear entirely. But it looks like for now, they'll be okay. Carrion and Arkan are trying to do something about Archaon. But I don't know what kills the Chaos Knights either. Unless Arkan has a ton of Spirit Leeches. But is he going to get time to use them all? I don't know. I don't know. Archaon is in. He has Slayer of Kings popped, increasing his splash damage for those Kepler Guard. Eyes of the Desert also continuing to fight. And Arkan throws down a nice little skeleton summon. I like how he threw it kind of on top of the Kepler Guard to maybe deflect some of the blows from them, because you got to give them as much time as possible to regenerate up. And the Carrion get a rear charge as well. They're trying to rout off some of these Zongors. trying is the key word. But the Sparkle Stalkers, now that they're stuck in melee, are having a real bad time. And it's all on Arkin. How many Spirit Leeches can he get off? The Staff and Gash was just popped for reducing cooldown, so that should bring Spirit Leech off of cooldown if he has the Winds of Magic for it. So that makes me think he's struggling with Winds of Magic right now, because there's another Spirit Leech onto Archaon. It's good damage. Can the Undead even hold? Is their Carrion fade? As the Sparkle Stalkers fade, the Kepler Guard are holding on to life right now, and Arkin's last summon is also doing work. But Archaon and Arkin are now having a Wild West-style duel off in the middle of nowhere. Arkin robbed a bank or some shit and is starting to run away. Spirit Leech draining him down. The Warriors of Chaos are starting to rout. So that's going okay. But Arkin can't run no more. Like any good Wild West movie, he is eventually caught. They circle around. They share some dialogue about, like, you fucked my wife. I didn't fuck your wife. I fucked your sister. And then Arkin's like, same difference. I don't watch a lot of Wild West movies. I clearly don't watch a lot of Wild West movies. All right. Archaon, 3,100 value. Herald, Hammerstorm, only 300. 900 for the Chaos Knights of Khorne, 1,500 for the other Chaos Knights. Chaos Warriors, mixed value, but they were necessary. Like we saw how long they just bumped and grind with the skeletons. Zongors all paid for themselves pretty much. So that's also quite nice. Arkin, really good value. Sparkle Stalker, ROR, great value. Other Sparkle Stalker also did very well. Shopties did fine. Kepler did well. Screamskull Catapult, honestly, also did fine. But that front line is just going to get 0 value fighting Chaos Warriors and Zongors. Too much armor. GG, really good game. It was a really, really good game. Let me DM him. You are only bone. Isn't that technically 5 marked units? I think Herald is undivided. So he had 3 Zongors and a Chaos Knight of Khorne, right? I remember thinking that, but I think it was fine. Oh, shit. Okay, we have to watch this. We have to watch this. This is so epic. Okay, I might be getting hyped about nothing, but I'm fucking here for it, bro. There's races going on, you guys. Both Kislev contenders are here. Oh no, dude, what the fuck? That's so fucked up. Anyway, okay, so the thing we're gonna watch is the Warriors of Chaos mirror match to determine who goes to the faction war. The stakes could not be higher that you have to knock out your own competition. And meanwhile, the other race is Kislev, Raced, and Segos, both doing very well. But look at this. This is no insult. This is no insult at all to Salinator and MTS. They're both great people. They're doing awesome. I love you guys. But the winner of that will face Segos. I'm sorry, but it is a different caliber of player when Razel and Alfredito are competing to fight Raced. Like, look at this shit. A very promising new player in MTS, and then Salinator, who has progressed into a pretty solid combatant. Like, if you sleep on him at all, he will beat you. But, like, neither of these players is fucking Alfredito or Razel, and Raced is just sitting there like, yeah, this feels fair. This feels fine. Yeah, Segos has to beat Salinator or MTS to get into the faction where I have to beat Alfredito or fucking Razel. That is so funny. God, rest in peace, Raced. Rest in peace, brother. That's so fucked up. Chosen One making a very deep run on this Skaven. I haven't seen him in like 6 years, so I honestly thought he would get knocked out right away by Bretonnia. Because Berserk is an excellent player. But what does make me happy is it looks like Berserk was the only Bretonian rep, so he does get into the faction war, which is great. I would just hate to have a faction war without one of the best current players. Because like Berserk, Strat, Alfredino, Blood Penguin, those would be like 4 people I would just really hate to not have in the faction war with like the current roster. You know, because you want your best. It's equally exciting to see like some of the best players, and it's equally exciting to see the newer faces popping up. So, yeah. All right, let's see the Warriors of Chaos Mirror. Whoever wins this gets in the faction war. The other falls. Will? All right, sure. Casually ignoring Hanno. I haven't seen Hanadin's play in a really long time, but yeah, you're right. Hanadin's is also great. But I'm Chaos Dwarf, so auto qualify. Hell yeah, Dragonborn. All right. Critique. All right, sorry, somebody sent me a message. I just had to respond to it quick. What's funny is I normally abhor mirror matches. They're the bane of my existence. But when that, like, in a faction war style thing, it's actually really funny because there's just so much more behind it. He's contractually obligated, of course. All right. Take a look at the builds. I don't want to spoil anything, so I will keep my commentary to myself until both players ready up. I'm kind of surprised that Tomb King's game was even good, to be honest. Like, when I saw that Herald was there, kind of just assumed it would be over. But it was good. It was really good. Imperator Mortis handled Herald quite well, sniped him out very quickly. His Sepulchral Stalkers did a lot of work. I think it was an uphill fight. So, I believe... I don't want to discredit Nalnish or Borgash, whichever you prefer to call him, because he played really well. I liked a lot of what he did. But I think both players played about equally, and the matchups just tilted in Warriors of Chaos favor, so they ended up winning it out. So yeah, he played pretty good. I don't think Nalnish played worse than Mortis, though. I think they just played just about even. Maybe the only thing I could see being like a big mistake on Mortis' side is having 3 of his chaff piled up in that same spot so that the Burning Head could go down the line. But then on the other side, you could say that Nalnish made a mistake by having Archaon fight those Sepulchral Stalkers out in the middle of nowhere for a very long time rather than supporting that front line. So it kind of goes both ways. I guess more of what my point is I thought if both players played at about the same level, the Tomb Kings would get absolutely rolled, and it ended up being a close game. So maybe that matchup isn't as one-sided as I thought. Don't know. All right, we do have two very different philosophies on how to play this Warriors of Chaos mirror. Archaon versus Archaon, but that's where the similarities end. We have a Marauder frontline backed up by a bunch of trolls and heavy cavalry versus an extremely heavy frontline backed up by Chaos Spawn. John B., welcome, man, welcome. Who gets the walk spot? Alfredino did advance to fight Raced. And Sagos is still waiting on an opponent. Alright, I set up our next game so they don't start playing without us. I've told people to start waiting for us in the semifinals. So we'll see how that goes. For the Chaos Armies, we saw them while loading up. I did take the blocker down, right? Yes, I did. But it is a cheap frontline of Marauders backed up by Trolls and Chaos Knights of Tzeentch with Lances, 2 Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch as well, and Archaon the Ever-Chosen with Spirit Leech and Searing Doom. On the other side, we have 3 Chaos Spawn of Tzeentch. Yes, all 3 are of Tzeentch, one of which is the Weird Spawn. Then we have the Severed Claw, Aspiring Champions, Tzeentch Regiment of Renown. Then we have Chaos Warriors, Marauders with great weapons, and more Chaos Warriors in the front line. So 2 of those Chaos Warriors have Halberds, and Archaon the Ever-Chosen as well. Did Trolls get buffs recently? I think they got buffs like 3 patches ago. All Trolls got a little bit of a leadership increase, and certain players have been really liking them. I don't personally like Trolls, basic Trolls, but some players do. I don't think they're bad. I just don't think they're great. I think they are decidedly average. As Hanadin skirmishes a bit, doing really good damage to those Chaos Warriors. Wow, okay. And Archaon's going to start exchanging Spirit Leeches soon. As Hanadin's is going to get the most out of his kiting that he can, seeing that his opponent has no cavalry and no ranged whatsoever. He cannot fight back against this. The Chaos Knights with Lances will get charges wherever they can, where there isn't a Chaos Spawn waiting to eat them alive. I am worried. I'm worried about the red build. Because they just don't have any agency. These skirmish cav are going to fire until they're out of ammo. Meanwhile, cycle charging is going to ensue. We did actually get a fight. Chaos Warriors somehow got combat with armored Chaos Trolls and Marauders. The Weird Spawn are also joining in, while Archaon attempted to chase down Chaos Knights with Lances. He gets beset by Marauders. It looks like a Burning Head from him is going to get a 2-for-1 on these other Marauders. Yeah, as they line up, nice for the Burning Head. It doesn't curve into them, so they got a little bit of a pass, as the Searing Doom is going to hit this big old blob of Chaos Warriors. And the Weird Spawn. Looks like the Trolls are out of here. They want nothing to do with it. As the Burning Head gets all the way down the hillside. And it gets a bit of the Marauders, too. God damn. Okay, that Burning Head wasn't fucking around. But who is fucking around and finding out is Archaon the Ever-Chosen, currently surrounded by horsemen, getting Spirit Leeched, and he pops Slayer of Kings. But the other Archaon is coming in hot. He's probably going to pop Fight or Die and Slayer of Kings here. Fight or Die, Slayer of Kings, there it is. He has insane melee stats, and he's going to put the hurt on the other Archaon. What does Koala want? Alright, it's not, like, game-breakingly important right now. So the Red Chaos actually did get more of a frontline fight than I was expecting, and they are winning it, which that one is expected. If they get the fight, they should definitely win it with their better frontline. The damage value is slightly in Hanadin's favor, and I also think Hanadin's is getting better damage. Right, he's routed off some Marauders. He got enemy Archaon down to half HP. He's isolated and killed a spawn of Tzeentch over there. Well, the red side has done a ton of damage to Marauders, but that's the least important unit of blue, so I think Hanniden's is overall fine with the damage he's taken thus far. Weird spawn now getting shot by those Marauder Horsemen with Tzeentch. Of Tzeentch. Chaos Knights with Lances still trying to finish off those spawn in the distance. And blue look like they're just resetting. Trying to get back some of their routed elements. Skirmish a little bit. As red completely dominated the central fight. Both flanks went to shit for them, but the central fight went really, really well for red. Their superior infantry. Searing Doom is getting traded for a Burning Head, both sides killing off the other's infantry, and Trolls are a lot less scary without infantry. It looks like they're just jumping right back in. But those are Halberds and Chaos Spawn, and yeah, that is going to be a loss of those two Trolls. And Archaon should be able to chase them off the map. If he's allowed to. But Chaos Knights will charge unbraced Chaos Warriors. And now rear charge the Severed Claw, who are doing their best to fight back. A full health Chaos Warrior and the Weird Spawn might catch some Marauder Horsemen, but they pull away at just the last second. And Chaos Knights, plus a nasty volley from the Marauder Horsemen, will do a lot of damage to the Weird Spawn, who are now just fighting for their lives. But red is scrapping back. He's almost evened up the damage value, which is very impressive, all things considered. And he is about to rout off 2 Trolls and 2 Marauders. Looks like he's going to run them off the map. The Severed Claw taking a bunch of punishment, though, from all these Trolls and Archaon. And the Chaos Knights. But we did get some support here. Spawn of Tzeentch and Chaos Warriors saving the Severed Claw for a little bit longer. Weird spawn of these Chaos Warriors. Look like they're rethinking going this far out to chase those guys, trying to get back to their center where they have a lot more agency. Archaon should be able to run these Trolls off, and these other Trolls are so low that if he just runs over and rear charges them or something, they will rout again, because they're going to rally in a second, but they'll rout again. Searing Doom, a little bit of friendly fire on the Trolls, but mostly great damage onto those Chaos Warriors and Marauders and such. And Hanniden still performing very well. Weird Spawn getting just poked by those Chaos Knights with Lances. The rear charge did a lot of damage to them. Those other Chaos Warriors are forced to just stand and fight. Archaon did, in fact, go to fight those Trolls, and he's going to throw down a very nice Burning Head to get that burnt leadership debuff to get the Trolls routing, but actually Archaon's natural terror just takes them, and then him rear charging them with terror, that should get rid of them for good. So Archaon did clean up all those guys. Red is reforming ranks at the bottom of this hill, and Hanniden still has a good amount of ammunition considering how long this game has gone. These Chaos Warriors hanging in there for now. They're awfully close to terror routing. But the bump and grind's going their way, and the balance power is creeping back towards the middle. And Archaon did finish running off those Trolls on the high ground so he can return to his army soon. Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, 5 and 7 volleys left for them, which is honestly quite a lot. And what does Hanniden's have left? He has 2 Chaos Knights who are very wounded, 2 Skirmish Cav who are quite healthy but running low on ammo, 2 Trolls trying to regenerate up, and an Archaon who is exceedingly healthy. But very little or no infantry, depending on if these guys even rally enough to make it back to a fight. For red, we have a just over half HP Archaon. We have some spawn, which is actually huge. And they're trying to recover their shields even. But a spawn, we have some Chaos Warriors with Halberds, and then we have the Severed Claw, though they aren't feeling super hot HP-wise. Still doing okay. What red has to do here is he's overextending a little bit, and I think Hanniden's is about to realize that this pocket could take a nice couple charges from these Chaos Knights before support could get there. He really needs to regroup. He needs to get everybody nice and together so that there's no one isolated, so that all of his opponents of mobility has to come to the same place. Hanniden's whoopsies. He throws out a Searing Doom accidentally onto his own troops. And that was definitely him, because the red Archaon doesn't have Searing Doom. Alright, sorry. I got another ping that I have to deal with later. How are we doing here? Burning Head's still the best win spell overall? Yeah, I would agree. The skirmishers are running out of steam. 2 volleys and, 1 in 4 now for those guys. They're trying to shoot at that Severed Claw, who have just a bit of shields left. And Red Chaos does need to regroup. Balance of power is close to even as it has been for most of the game. And the Trolls are actually going to take a fight with both the Archaons involved. Both pop Slayers of Kings, though this Archaon has Fight or Die that he could throw out soon, but Borgash gets a really big hit onto him, gets another big hit, and a Searing Doom is trying to clear things out, but all these Halberds and these Spawn are helping. The Archaon duel is still going, and it looks like no Fight or Die has been popped just yet from Hanadins. It must be on cooldown. And a Spirit Leech follows up the Slayer of Kings. Blue is taking much worse on the trade from this as Borgash just pushes in. He doesn't give a single shit, and the Chaos Knights are thrown in desperation, trying to get a mass rout, but Archaon takes another hit. Borgash's Archaon just doesn't give a single fuck, and he routs the other one. The balanced power turns in the favor of Borgash for the first time all game, while Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch attempt to throw their volleys. It is over. The War Host of the Apocalypse wins it. And the upset, Nullnish, Borgash, whatever you want to call him, will be the Warriors of Chaos representative for the faction war in a very surprising turn of events, in my opinion. The Trolls did not pay for themselves, unfortunately. Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch did okay. Chaos Knights did really well. Archaon himself did great, and the Marauders mostly got clapped. On the other side, Hanadins' Archaon also got amazing value. Oh, wait, sorry. Nullnish's Archaon got amazing value. His Chaos Spawn did okay. They were just, like, nice blockers, and they were there. Chaos Warriors bumping ground with the best of them. But he's going to get less value because Hanadins was kiting him a lot and charging him a lot. So you don't get value for taking damage from ammunition. Segos. I'll go to the brackets in a bit. September 9th. I'm out of town that weekend. I can't play. RIP. Somebody pinged me about a tournament. Okay, what is the lobby, good sir? What lobby? Imtiaz and Lamb Sauce King are going to fight for the title of the Empire. Slightly Insane Biscuit. Glad you liked the lore video. There's another one coming out tomorrow. There's another one coming out tomorrow on the Sundering of the Elves. And then I will need to ask my patrons, my Patreon people, whether they want Throg or the Red Duke next, because those are the two that I'm set up to do. We do have a game we're supposed to be going to between Salinator and Segos. I just don't know what it's called yet. So here's the bracket for you to look at something while I try and find it. All right, Sale has sent me the lobby code, and I am on my way. We were going to spectate Segos earlier, but we got distracted by Strat Game's Sweet Booty. So we probably have 4 more games left. Kislev versus Vampire Counts, the winner of this versus Chosen One, Warriors of Chaos versus the winner between Raced and Alfredino, and the finals. And the last faction to be decided is actually Kislev. Kislev is the only one that's still tied up here. I do have a blocker up, so we're good to go. I'm getting pinged so much. Why are there so many pings? So many things happening on a Sunday. Skaven clearly OP, please nerf. Chosen One! I actually do have a question for you. Have you been using a lot of Poison Wind Globes and stuff? Or have you been rushing? Because I started losing a ton with my regular builds. I started losing a ton with my regular builds, and now I've just been playing mostly Skaven Rush. There's a few factions I'll still play my old style into, but now it's just been a lot of Rush. Speaking of this, oh crap. Okay, it's Kislev versus Vampire Counts. Yeah, that's a Bear Blob angle for sure. For sure. Normally I wait for builds to set up before casting them, but the Kislev one is rather small. So, yeah. We have 2 Warbear Riders, one of which is the Oath Brothers of Tor, a patriarch with his passive and active heals. We have the Ice Witch of Ice with Heart of Winter. It's been a long time since I've seen good old Heart of Winter, but it's back. 2 Armored Kossars, 3 Kossars with Spears? What is this? Yes, 3 Kossars with Spears. 1 Heavy War Sled, and the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts. Alright, Chosen One. Alright. Show off. I just play good and win. What a guy. What a guy. On the other side for Salinator, a rising star in the Vampire Counts community. Was in our new player tournaments, won them. He's a very good Counts player. He has the Blood Dragon Lord, the best choice, with zombies and Invocation Hack. He has triple Vargeist, 2 Crypt Horrors, a Necromancer on his corpse cart. Just a regular corpse cart with Master of the Dead and the Rod of Forbiddenness. 5 zombies and 2 Blood Knights. These electric counts look sick. No, it was an Empire Mirror. Oh, there they are. Okay, it's not 3. It is 3 Kossars of Spears, but there's also the Wolf Hearts, Akshina Ambushers. Okay. I still think this is going to be rough for the Vampire Counts. They'll have to be very well managed. The Warbear Riders are just going to be kind of insane with all their healing and stuff. If they're near their infantry support, they'll be fine. If they get caught out, like the Blood Knights and Vargeist surround them with no infantry nearby whatsoever to deflecting that damage, yeah, they'll take a good amount, but I think Segos certainly has a good way to go here. Heavy War Sled's going to do a bit of kiting for now, while the Kislev army just waits atop a hill and doesn't see any need to really rush into things. Might as well let their Heavy War Sleds fire. Now, with skirmishing, it's very difficult to aim at the correct stuff. Because if you tell them to fire at something that's even slightly out of range, they'll just fire while they're moving towards it at something that's nearby. Okay. Sorry. answering more faction war tiebreaker questions. As the counts are advancing, nothing I really missed. Counts waiting for their slow-ass zombies to get here. And Vargeist are probably going to want to fall back towards this guy. Actually, right now he has no healing for them whatsoever. He needs more of them to die. We are in range where the archers and armored Kossars can start firing too, and the zombies are going to take a lot of damage. So the counts are ready for this. It's their life. The first couple minutes of a counts game is never counts favorite, as they just take free damage. Those Blood Knights taking damage is actually concerning, though. And the Vargeists being in range, too. Ooh, what was that? I missed a breath attack on the Wolf Hearts. Damn, that was a lot of damage. Nice, but I'm not... Ugh, these Vargeists are taking so much. They even get an invocation to hack. That's a little brutal. Vampire counts have set up a pretty good surround, all things considered. And those zombies are still trying to get in here. Can the counts do it? I suspect hard no. I suspect no. But Alfredino did knock out Raced. So if Raced wants a Kislev mirror to determine it all, he is really rooting for Salinator here. Cryptors are in onto the armored Kossars. Vargeist landed to try and get rid of some of, well, dodge some of the damage, but then they got netted, and now the Warbear Riders are on their ass. Blood Knights also running away. Can the Vampire Counts get anything done while the Warbears are busy elsewhere? Blood Knights do get caught by the Oath Brothers of Tor, and they are getting massacred. And the Oath Brothers haven't even popped their weird lightning thing yet that will lower these Blood Knights' stats further. More Vargeists are coming to the back. It looks like they really want to isolate the Bears while they're super far away from their infantry, which is something that I did say the Bears could take a lot of damage for. But man, that front line is going poorly in the meantime. Huge charge from the Vargeists. They did so much damage on impact, and already that bear is beneath half HP. A zombie summon tries to keep these Blood Knights alive, as now the Oath Brothers of Tor are regretting this. They're starting to run away, but they are also taking a lot of damage. And this Blood Dragon Lord might want to dive in and pop his Helm of Discord and all of his buffs. He has to do something. It looks like he's mostly lining up for a breath attack onto the Oath Brothers of Tor, getting a decent bit of damage down as more Blood Knights and Vargeists commit to the fight. And it is looking like it's turning around for the Vampire Counts in this backfield. As a Heart of Winter is coming down? No, that's the Oath Brothers of Tor big thing. Plus Celiac's Lullaby trying to heal them all up. But a Helm of Discord counter brings the Oath Brothers of Tor down to 11 and 19 for melee stats. Even worse for their other Warbear Rider brethren. Meanwhile, a Heart of Winter on the front line kills off some Cryptors and zombies. We haven't been watching the front line because it hasn't mattered as much. But, oh, this is nasty. Kislev turns around and starts firing into the backfield fight. Both sides taking a lot of damage on a lot of key units. Incarnate Elemental Beast is going to come join the party, though, and that will be bad for the Vampire Council. Looks like the Blood Dragon Lord is actually trying to piece out of here. A zombie summon to even get in his way and slow him down, but nothing's slowing that man down as he plows straight through them and starts the Flock of Doom AoE killing spree. But one of the Warbear Riders is entirely dead, and the Oath Brothers of Tor are looking to join them in the dirt. Can the Counts rally after taking out the Warbears? Maybe. They have 2 Blood Knights who are still alive, 2 Vargeists. No, wait, 1 Vargeist. 1 Vargeist, 1 Crypt Horror. And the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is, of course, very healthy. Oath Brothers of Tor are getting away. They should be able to rally. There's plenty of space, but it looks like the Blood Dragon Lord is not about to let that happen. We do need... Oof, that was nice. That was a really good Overcast Invocation hack. But we need these Blood Knights probably to fuck off, or for this big boy to recommit to the fight. He throws a Breath Attack down into the Kossars' Spears. I guess he just really hates them. But a big Heart of Winter's getting cast. The Vampire Counts do have to back out of this fight. The Oath Brothers of Tor looked like they rallied for a second, then routed again. That might take them off the map. I don't know if they can rally in time. Zombies still pushing up, and the Counts are still down in the balance of power, but not out just yet. We are losing a Blood Knight for good. The other Blood Knight and the Vargeists are trying to piece out of here while the Blood Dragon Lord takes up the fight on his own next to the Patriarch and all that support. The Oath Brothers of Tor are officially off the map. The Blood Knights are fading. Oh, they're fading. They took a big volley from some of these Kossars on their way in. They're desperately trying to cling to what life they can gather. The Blood Dragon Lord kicked the ass of that Incarnate Elemental. Blood Knights charge back out, but that is their swan song. They are out of it for now. Vargeist nearing their heal caps. They get another indication of the hack. The Blood Dragon Lord is still trying to put this game on his back as he tries to kill the Akshina ambushers. But what can Blood Dragon do against such reckless Kislev? There's a lot of Kislevites left. Helm of Discord is out. Incarnate Elemental Beast down to 7 melee defense as the Vargeist and the Blood Dragon Lord try to get good damage onto him. Blood Dragon Lord knows he's going to be alone soon, so really needs to take out that other anti-large armor-piercing duelist character. His support is drying up. Vampire count's falling further and further behind. Damage value is still very, very even, but damage value only tells half the story. As the Kislevites just form a circle and start shooting this poor man. It looks like a zombie summon is coming for the Armored Cossars. Just trying to stop them from shooting for a bit. The Akshan Ambushers lighting up this Blood Dragon Lord as he fights the Incarnate Elemental Beast and the Patriarch. Kislev Heavy War Sleds also around, just shooting him with shotguns. And that'll be it. Kislev will advance. Segos will be their representative. All right, I will go find Nulnish and Alfredino. Meanwhile, Incarnate Elemental Beast did great. Both the Warbear Riders did okay, but actually largely got shut down. The Akshan Ambushers did excellently. Armored Cossars, really good for the Cossars with spears. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord did really well. Blood Knights mixed, but overall good. Vargeist mixed. Overall, a little bit. Cryptors and Zombies did their best. But GG, it looked really, really difficult for those guys. If anybody is curious about the bracket, while I try and find the lobby, it'll be Segos versus Chosen One, Nulnish versus Alfredino. And Chosen One, I know you were in chat, and I'm sure you've heard, but don't start that semifinal without me. You have a best of 1 to wait, which is not a very long time. I say that, but then it's going to be Tzeentch versus Warriors of Chaos, somehow a 55-minute game. Alfredino just joined up, so I don't think they have builds ready. I have told Chosen One and Segos. Well, actually, I just messaged Segos, but Chosen One also used to be in the chat here, so hopefully you heard it. That they can make a lobby and make builds. So hopefully we'll have a build phase for this game. Next game, we should join the lobby and then hit start immediately. And then finals, we'll have a build phase because, of course, the finalists won't know who they are until they get there. 3 games left. 3. Warriors of Chaos versus Tzeentch. Skaven versus Kislev. Winners versus winners. Some good games today. Some real good games. Have we had any one-sided games? It actually feels like most people have been pretty close. No stinkers that I can remember. Tzeentch is ready. Where's Chaos are figuring it out? I'll return when I feel like it. Hype. All right. Last piece of news while we wait on the builds. For anybody out there who cares, as soon as I get this graphic filled out, both with tiebreakers people are playing in the background, hopefully, and all those things. Once I get this bracket filled out, the faction war will start. So hopefully, right after this, I'll grab, I'll make some lunch, and then I'll sit at my computer and get the graphic finished up. I'll make the bracket of 32, give everybody a set amount of time to veto their first matchup if it's just like abysmal, like I did Vampire Counts versus High Elves, like someone was mentioning, and I just left it. In the official faction war bracket, you could say, like, dude, this is unwinnable, and I will try to switch it. And then the faction war will start. We'll play all of, there's 32 games to be played, so we're not going to do it all live. We'll do replays until you get to the top 4. And I'll do 3 streams of the faction war just like last time. I'll stream the entire left side of the bracket. I'll stream the entire right side of the bracket. And then the top 4 will be live. So the faction war proper, for anybody who has qualified and is wondering, will start as soon as I get everything all squared away. And we'll be scheduling games as you can, Like, you matched up round 1, you're from Poland, and your opponent is in Alaska, United States. It might be hard to get your game together, but, we'll do what we can. Yeah. It's a best of 1 with no pick and ban, so hopefully people can make time for it sometime in the next 2 weeks to get 3 best of 1s done total. If you get all the way to the top 4. If you get knocked out right away, you just need 1 best of 1, and you're fucking done. In Germany on your vacation, John B? Hell yeah! Germany's a great place to visit. I lived there for a month in a high school exchange program, so then my family took Sebastian, and they took me. I lived in Stur, which is near Bremen in the north. Stur. That was lovely. I had a great time. Tzeentch versus the Warriors of Chaos. Alfredino, we have 5 blue horrors, including the Chromatic Abominations. We have a single Flamer of Tzeentch, seems to be a flavor thing he likes to do. 2 Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, 2 Marauder Horsemen, the Mutalith Vortex Beast, and Kairos Fate Weaver with Regrowth and Blue Fire. Mittenwald Oktoberfest thing? That'll be fun. On the other side, we have... Wow, a lot of Chosen. A lot of Chosen. What the fuck? 3 Chosen, one of which has halberds, the other 2 have great weapons. The Severed Claw, the Spawn of Tzeentch, 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds, Archaon with Spirit Legion Searing Doom, and 1 Marauder Horseman of Slaanesh. 2 Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh. That's really strange. That is a strange build. I gotta favor Tzeentch here. I do. The Mutalith Vortex Beast's aura, plus all of this kite, I don't know. I think these elite infantry are just going to die. And look at all that damage from one blue fire. That's a Chosen from one blue fire. Nullnish, you did great. You had a very honorable matchup with Hanadins. You did better than I ever expected anybody to do. You did better than I probably would have done versus Hanadins and stuff like that. You're fucked. This is the end of your run. I'm sorry. It's been a pleasure casting your games, but this shit is over. Another big blue fire is going to hit both Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh, doing really incredible damage to them, as the Flamers and Blue Horrors are attempting to get out a little bit of kite here. The Slaanesh Horsemen have magic attacks? True. True. I mean, so did the Tzeentch ones. Are the Slaanesh ones cheaper? I actually don't know. Flamers ripping up some Chaos Warriors with halberds. And these spawn of Tzeentch are extending to try and get into these blue horrors, but they'll get countercharged by Chaos Knights. These aren't the Lances variant, and they had to charge their own infantry, so the charge wasn't very impactful. Still, if either of these blue horrors could take some time and shoot into those spawn, they would get incredibly good value. Looks like the Mutolith Vortex Beast does not want to commit to the fight just yet. Alfredino's pretty happy to try and draw this out as long as possible. Another sideways blue fire down the Chosen does a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage to those guys. Chaos Warriors are already looking maybe ready to crumble and break. Blue Horrors now firing onto the spawn. Gonna see a lot of damage come in for those guys. And Archaon himself is getting involved with these Chaos Knights. Nullnish throwing down a quick Searing Doom onto all those Knights will get really, really good damage. So that's a great trade for him in this moment. Marauders of Slaanesh trying to throw in, but it looks like they're just gonna take some damage. They opt into charge. I like that. That was some Chad-ass energy. They're like, no, fuck you. We're not gonna run away. We're just gonna fight it out as Flamers continue to kite these Chaos Warriors and Chosen. Mutolith Vortex Beast commits. These Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are taking a lot of damage. Bounce power is heavily in Tzeentch's favor, and I do tend to agree. The Chaos Spawn is almost entirely dead. A lot of the Chosen have taken serious damage. And the Marauder Horsemen are both starting to rout. The Mutolith Vortex Beast is getting his ass handed to him by Archaon plus a Spirit Leech right now. He's trying to get away from that. I think he might just be doomed. There's no way he's getting away from Archaon. Archaon's just going to chase him down to the ends of the earth. The Halberds are really fucking him up, too. This is a great play from the Warriors of Chaos, who are actually up on damage value, shockingly. Blue Horrors have almost all run out of ammunition, so there's still 2 Skirmish Cav, though we've seen 2 Skirmish Cav in the past. Struggle. Chosen get rear charged by the Mutolith Vortex Beast. Archaon gets Gaze of Fated, which lowers his melee attack. But the Mutolith Vortex Beast still has worse melee defense than he has melee attack. Alright, it did actually manage to get away. Flamers fired Archaon, actually getting a good bit of damage for once. They didn't miss everything. The Mutolith Vortex Beast does escape for now, though it's escaping towards Chosen with halberds. Blue fire plus the Flamer fire, doing actually a good amount of damage to Archaon. For a second there, I thought it was going to do more. But a regrowth comes out for the Mutolith Vortex Beast. Kairos using all of that Winds of Magic to full effect. Flamers are running low on ammunition. But a Tier 3 Tzeentch army ability is coming down right on top of the Chosen. And it doesn't look like they're going to dodge in time. They might start to dodge now, but it is too late. And that is a huge play for Tzeentch, just killing those Chosen. Oh, you hate to see it if you're a Warriors of Chaos fan. Archaon's going to get blue fired, charged by Chaos Knights. Now imagine, the blue fire actually did more damage to the Chaos Knights than him, and then a very good Searing Doom. Unless Alfredino is on top of his shit and can dodge it, but he doesn't see it coming. Really big damage from the Searing Doom. Archaon trying to carry this game, but man, that Tier 3 army ability just fucked everything up for the Warriors of Chaos. Flamers and the Skirmish Cav all focusing on Archaon now. They realize he's the last real threat to their power. This Mutolith Vortex Beast tries to drain all of the Chosen. Where are the Severed Claw? Oh, the Severed Claw are way out there. Archaon's fighting Kairos, but that Spirit Leech is unfortunately going into a 44% damage resistance. Kairos with his Oracle of Eternity up. Flamers are going for a point-blank shot. They can't possibly miss, but how much of it hits Kairos is my question. Oh, none of it as Archaon just charges out as they're about to fire. And a blue fire in the back. Man, Archaon cannot catch a break. He's just he's living the Valkia trailer right now. Everywhere he turns, there's someone else to hit him in the back. Chosen get terror routed. Chosen don't get ITP for some reason. So Chosen getting terror-routed by the Mutilith Vortex Beast. These other ones are about to get charged and drained down. Archaon is slowly withering away under the attentions of Kairos Fate Weaver. And I think that is a GG, my friends. Actually, some pretty good play on both sides. Things were going better for Nulnish than I expected until that Tier 3 Tzeentch Army ability. The Tier 3 Tzeentch Army ability just decided it. Taking a full health Chosen with Halberds just to dead. Ugh. It was brutal. Kairos ain't letting up while fighting Archaon. The Mutilith Vortex Beast might have something to say about it as the Gaze of Fate locks Archaon in place. Mutilith Vortex Beast is lined up to go attack, but looks like he's not onto it just yet. Flamers whiff an entire volley, and Archaon will escape for now. But to what end? To what end, my friends? Still have a half-health Chaos Knight. 2 Skirmish Cav who are pretty healthy and decent ammo. A regrowthing Mutilith Vortex Beast and a full health Kairos. That is going to be army losses here for the Warriors of Chaos. And an admirable run for Borgash that ends today. Alfredino will avenge his fallen clanmate, Hanadins, and move on to finals. Or will he? Yes, he will. GG. We have another match waiting for us, so I will not delay too much on the values. If you really care, I am scrolling through them now. You can pause it when you need. All right. Kairos and the Mutilith Vortex Beast getting their usual insane damage out. Flamers also paying for themselves twice over for kiting out all those Chosen. Great, great stuff. No, the damage value never works on army abilities, and I don't know why. That's still a thing. But no, army abilities do not count. All right, looking for ODM Curse Strikes Again. I have to think that's them. So can I have a spec slot? Yeah, Martitas. The Tier 3 Tzeentch Army ability didn't count for Tzeentch on their damage value. All right. I talked to Segos about giving me a spec slot. He said talk to Chosen One. I said no, Chosen One's a dick. And then I talked to Chosen One, and he said nah to giving me a spec slot. So my assessment that he's a dick is achieved. No. I'm joking. Chosen One was actually on this channel back when we did interviews with faction mains about their factions. He and Hadries teamed up to be on my little podcast format about Skaven. That was a great time. Because entering the scene, man, I was watching Chosen One and Hadries play Skaven, and I was stealing their builds and learning how to play Skaven. So those two will always have a special place in my heart. They were the OGs. Why was Archaon fighting Kairos? There can be only one. It's the Highlander format, pretty much. Tzeentch is the best faction in the game of Micro. Changing my mind. Oh, I would agree for sure. Last Defender. I would agree for sure. 2 games left. We are rocking and rolling right into this other semifinal because they're waiting for us. Finals might have a bit of a build time. Because, you know, these guys had time to make their builds before we joined. Who will face Tzeentch in the finals? Will it be a DLC face-off between newly improved Kislev and Tzeentch, or will the Skaven make it all the way to finals to get shit canned by Tzeentch? Ever next to my son, Herbert Walker. John B, thanks. Also, thanks. And follow-up. Here's a stupid admission from me. So, I found it very funny, but, like, this is a real thing, and I know it's dumb. I'm in the future, too. When Turin was first casting my son, Herbert Walker games, I legitimately thought that he had a son named Herbert Walker. And I was like, dude, this guy really wants to hammer it home. This is his son. What the fuck? Like, we get it, Turin. You have a kid. Because, like, looking at Turin, he didn't used to have his camera on, so I had no idea what the guy fucking looked like. I didn't know how old he was. And even now that I know what he looks like, he looks old enough to have... I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he could be old enough to, like, have a kid who's, like, 8 or 9 and plays the game. And it helped that, like, my son HW isn't a bad player. He's not a bad player by any means. But he wasn't, like, the greatest player alive. So it wasn't a stretch that he was actually, like, a kid. You know, I'm like, wow, this, like, 9 or 10-year-old kid is, like, really good at this video game. But, yeah, he's not the best in the world, so I can kind of believe it. Cool. And then I find out my son HW is just, like, a guy. And he also streamed on Twitch at the time. And it's like, fuck, she-ball. Yeah, John B. All right, I'm not the only one out there who's an idiot. And I shouldn't call you an idiot. I'm sorry. I can call myself an idiot, but I shouldn't call you one. All right, what do we got here for this game? We have Akshina Ambushers fucking up Poison Globes. For Chosen One, we have the Ikit Zap Zap Warp Lightning Cannon, trying to punish the enemy caster and keep her on edge. We have 2 Poison Globes. Looks like 4 Rat Ogres, a whole bunch of Skaven Slave Spears, and Eshin Triads and Clan Rats. An Ikit Claw on his Doom Wheel with Flensing Ruin and Warp Lightning. On the other side, for Kislev, we have 2 Horse Archers, 2 regular Dervishes. It looks like mirrored on the other side, except for not 2 more Horse Archers. 4 Akshina Ambushers, a whole bunch of Kossars. Ooh, a 5th Akshina Ambusher, the Wolfhearts Auror with their nets. And then we do have the Things in the Woods, and an Ice Caster with Death Frost and a Leopard Summon. That's a lot of armor piercing. You can see already 1 Poison Wind Globe is killed off entirely by Akshina Ambushers. The other one has to fall back. Things in the Woods are tearing through the front line right now, but their leadership's not looking so hot as Ikit Claw on his Doom Wheel. It is a good source of terror. He could push them back. And without any Kossar support or anything like that, they are getting torn apart for now. They will get pushed away, so that is a good hold for the Skaven initially. Poison Wind Globes do get a quick throw onto some of these Kossite Dervishes, but the Suicide Dervishes will not be denied, and they go fly right in. €2 donation for Big Friday. Go Skaven, thank you, sir. And I also say go Skaven. Ikit Zap Zap has not hit the Ice Switch a single time, by the way. It has 229 value from accidentally hitting the Wolfhearts behind her. There, it looks like it maybe got a shot in now. Things in the Woods are all routing off. Bounce power starts to favor the Skaven. And I might be inclined to agree, as we have a lot of these Kossars and Akshina Ambushers that are just not involved in the game so far. And a big surround here from the Ixchus Triads and their summon. Where's the summon? Alright, it looks like the real Ixchus Triads are going after the Ambushers, while the summon was bogging down the Ice Witch of Ice. Ikit Claw probably needs to throw down a Flensing Ruin on her right about now, because she is the foot variant, which gives her very low HP, so that Flensing Ruin could really fuck her up. Guardian's Call is out. That is the little Snow Leopard. Could probably follow Ikit Claw around, but it does look like Chosen One is getting the better of Segos in this fight overall. He's secured his backline. His Warp Lightning Cannon still firing. Ikit Claw has thrown out the overcasted Flensing Ruin onto the Ice Witch of Ice, and with him following her around and beating her up, this could be a big win for him. But can these Akshina Ambushers get good shots onto Ikit Claw? They can, and they will. Look at the damage coming in onto the boy! And now the Horse Archers are going to hold him in place for just a little bit more. If you can get one more nice volley from these armor-piercing arrows, you could kill Ikit Claw and turn this game on its head, as the Skaven were in ascendancy. Without their leadership, we all know they are nothing. Warp Lightning does rout the Horse Archers, but their Buyer Blood passive keeps them in the game for now, as Ikit Claw desperately tries to duck and weave away from all these Akshina Ambushers. In the backfield, Skaven are getting routed off, where all these Clan Rats tried to chase down Ambushers and stuff. Things in the Woods have rallied, have chased them, have gotten rid of them. Ikit Claw is getting away with 2,000 health, though. Here comes a big volley. Does he dodge any of it? There goes about 600 more HP. His leadership dips, and things in the woods are right behind him as more Kossos are trying to hit him, but these Poison Globes are getting out a bunch of damage as it goes. Rat Ogres are now charging at the ambushers, and the ambushers can't pursue Ikat Claw. They have to keep themselves alive and do that. Some full health dervishes are coming in from God knows where, but they're here now. And they need to loop around and probably take out that Warp Lightning Cannon or something. But it looks like they're actually going to prioritize keeping their own ambusher safe. So rear charge on the Rat Ogre should get them routing pretty soon. And then they could just roll forward into those action triads. Ziggit Zap Zap keeps the Ice Witch honest. Is going to poke her every once in a while, but it will also stop her from casting more spells. If she can get off a Death Frost onto Ikat, that'll probably finish him off. Routing him off the map, not killing him, but routing him. I don't know if she's going to get there, though. If Ikat Zap Zap keeps poking her. Someone has to do something about it. These Horse Archers just need to go into melee with Ikat Zap Zap, but their Fire Blood passive wears off, and the Rat Ogres are going to rout them. These other dervishes, their decision... Oh, the Ice Witch dies. Their decision to come bail out the ambushers rather than killing the Zap Zap does end up coming back to bite them as the Zap Zap kills their lord. So now that lost leadership for Kislev will come back to hurt them. They have great leadership and their Fire Blood passive, but the Fire Blood passive has mostly been worn off. We see it popping on a lot of characters right now, as a matter of fact. So they will start routing like any faction. Nice Warp Lightning tries to predict the retreat as Eshin Triads are onto those Akshin ambushers. Bounce power goes heavily against Kislev, and I do tend to agree. And the Skaven will fight Tzeentch in the finals. Great to see that Kislev gets the White Lions of Christ, but better. Oh, of course. Sorry you're disconnecting, John Bay. Ikat Claw did great. He was nice and annoying while also getting a lot of damage out. Rat Ogres did very well. Poison Globes, the one that got kept alive till the late game ended up getting really good value, but the other one just got killed by the Akshin ambushers right away. Ice Witch Vice did okay. Akshin ambushers, they did fine. They did alright. They mostly just got run around by clan rats and shit. Spirit of the Gorg, I can't do that. Things in the Woods did not get a lot of value. They definitely overextended a bit. It felt like Segos brought a lot of kite stuff, but then just ran his melee elements into melee right away with no support. So that was a bit of a whoopsie there. Alright, Chosen One is the host, so I should be able to just stay here for the finals. Say Akshin ambushers faster. Fine, I will do my best. Skaven roleplay on how many times I can say Akshin ambushers. Akshin. Dead. That was it. He got Akshi, and then a million armor-piercing stalked Vanguard arrows hit him. Because that unit is some shit. I don't think it's like the worst designed unit, but it is way too fucking good. There are probably 100 things in the game that need nerfs before the Akshin ambushers. But why are they the same cost as my Streltsy? I love Streltsy, man. And there's no reason to take them now. The ambushers are just better. Ugh. Buff Streltsy. Maybe take 50 gold off. Spirit of the Gorg, I'm sorry. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm busy not being cringe enough for chat. My message Chosen One to remind him to change the map. Grieven, they're very much just like Shades. Yeah. They're not even that broken, overpowered. Like, as we saw, when they get run down by stuff, they actually take a lot of damage. It's annoying to me that they're just better than another unit on their roster. Why do they even have armor piercing? I don't know. Okay, they're building some stuff. Hold on, I gotta message somebody. Doesn't the RR Vortex Beast on Tzeentch suck more than the non-RR? Yes. Yukari, yes, 100%. There is zero reason to take the Regiment for now Mutilith Vortex Beast. It is just worse. Spirit of the Gorg, that is fair and based. Also, for anybody who cares, I have a super fun stream coming up Tuesday. All the games are already done. It'll just be a replay cast. But we do our new player tournaments every week. If you win, you become a Bone Ripper. And that means it's just a role that identifies you as someone who won a new player tournament. So you can't sign up for future new player tournaments. Because if we just keep letting the same people win over and over again, that's not much of a new player tournament, is it? But we do, once in a while, try and get events together for those Bone Rippers. They don't just lose out on fun events. I contacted them. I pinged the Bone Rippers and asked who wanted to participate in an event. So essentially what the quote-unquote event is in Hell Pit, a bunch of Bone Rippers worked together, broke out of their cages, and ran off into the world. And Throt the Unclean contracted me, i.e. Deathmaster Tzeentch, to go out there and kill those fucks. So I've accepted the contract. I need to go fight them. I told them that they can pick whatever map they want. It's like pseudo where they ran to. So it doesn't have to be a tournament legal map. It can be whatever map they wanted. And then we didn't just play Skaven. Like, we played whatever matchup we were feeling at the time. So I would hit them up. And we didn't really do a pick ban. It's a for fun event. So I'd hit them up and say, hey, man, I'm feeling like playing some Khorne. If I play Khorne, it would be nice if you wouldn't pick... I'm making this up, but like Dark Elves and High Elves. That would be great. And then the other guy's like, hey, what do you think about, Empire? Empire versus Khorne? Sure, let's do it. And then we played it. I have all the replays. Every Bone Ripper that I fail to defeat and fail my mission, I have to give $20 to charity. Haven't decided on a specific charity yet, but it'll probably go to the wildfires that are happening in Canada, because I live in Minnesota, so it's right next to me. And I worry about the environment a lot, so it's just something that's hitting home, so I want to give some money to that. And if I lose to all the Bone Rippers, I think there was 8 games? That could be $160 if I lose to all of them. Which is why I put it at 20. If I end up beating all of them, then it's kind of lame, but I also didn't want to like sign up for more than I could afford. Because you have to be okay with the maximum amount of money is an important thing when you're doing like giveaways. Is you can't bet on it not getting to the maximum. Like, I will give $100 for every person I lose to in a 20-person stream. Oh, fuck, I now owe $2,000? I can't pay that. It's like, no, that's what you signed up for. So, that's that. This is the finals, ladies and gentlemen. This is the finals. So, we have the Changeling and Echoed Hellbrass versus Skaven, and the Changeling brought Blue Fire, which is interesting. I thought he'd spend most of his time as whatever form he decided to bring, so he won't get a lot of Blue Fires out. We have the Screaming Skyrays, a Cockatrice, and then a bunch of Marauders of Tzeentch. Doesn't look like any Zongors over there. And then in the distance are the Zongors, 4 of them. And 1 Marauder Horseman with pew-pews. I don't know who the Changeling can turn into. Oh, he transforms into Be'lakor. Oh. That's going to be horrible. Skaven hate Be'lakor. Yeah, Goji, we missed you today. We missed you, buddy. On the other side, for the Skaven of Chosen One, we have 2 Gutter Runners with poison, a Greyseer of Ruin with his aerial net and his item that does damage to aerial units once, Dreaded 13th as well, a front line of Clan Rats, 3 Warp Block Jezzails, a bunch of Skaven Slaves, 4 Rat Ogres, and the Avalanche Mortars Death Globe Mortar. My first concern is what is going to kill Be'lakor, the Cockatrice, and Ackhold Hellbrass. Those 3 single entities are going to be a huge problem. It's going to have to be, I guess, the Jezzails and Rat Ogres, but that's a tall order. Especially when the Jezzails are going to be busy trying to kill these Zongors and stuff. We'll see. Does the Changeling need to pay different costs? No, he's always the same cost, which is the problem a lot of people have with him, is because he's too expensive to be anyone besides Be'lakor, Kugath, or technically Nakari, though Nakari sucks. Balance Power hates Tzeentch? Yeah, until he transforms into Be'lakor, it fucking hates Tzeentch. The Auror Mortar somehow did more damage to the Gutter Runners than the Zongors. They'll keep at it. They'll keep at it. Jezzails are also fucking up that... Wow, just that Zongor specifically can go straight to hell. Alright. Skaven, I see it. Now they're focusing on the Screaming Sky Rays. Hopefully we get the Warpstone Scroll onto them. Howling Warp Gale works too. Ooh, layering those 2 might be a bit much, but the Warpstone Scroll will do a lot of damage. Plus the Jezzails should be able to get those guys into demonic instability range. Gutter Runner's trying to kite a little bit. Be'lakor is approaching. Now, as I mentioned with the Vampire, Counts versus Kislev, except now in the opposite. Every Skaven game always looks like a victory in the first 30 seconds. It's what happens after the first 30 seconds that determines whether or not you actually win. So yes, the Skaven getting out a lot of damage right now. Yes, the bounce power is even looking good right now. Just wait, my children. It gets worse. Nice little pendulum from Be'lakor will do some damage to the Clan Rat front line, get them routing in front of the Marauders, and Be'lakor has landed in the middle of the shitstorm. Ackhold Hellbrass is also getting in here, and the Cockatrice is in the backfield disrupting those Avalanche Mortars. And without the Avalanche Mortars, the Zongors and Marauders of Tzeentch can start pushing through those Clan Rats. Because Clan Rats can't beat them in melee. No shot. No shot. I heard a Storm Vermin summon. There it is. Looks like he's just trying to nuke down these Zongors with the explosion damage. And Rat Ogres are trying to hold Be'lakor in place. They're trying to hold the Cockatrice. But doesn't this guy have his Petrifying Gaze, minus 10 leadership? Oh, it's countering the Frenzy. That's why their stats don't look decreased. So Rat Ogres without their Frenzies down to 26 melee attack around the Cockatrice. And Ackhold is also in here being a bit of a nuisance. Damage value is still in the Skaven's favor, as is the balance of power. But I am thoroughly in the camp of being very concerned as Be'lakor routes a Jezzail. A Gutter Runner is also routing. Avalanche Mortars getting pushed off now. Nice Howling Warp Gale from Chosen One. We'll hold these guys in place while one Jezzail gets off free shots, but a Zongor comes to stop that as the Death Globes, who are under attack, mind you, force fire onto some Zongors, routing them off and saving the Jezzails, who can now focus fire onto Be'lakor, who does not currently have his Shadow Shroud up. But the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch pile in. They are going to take out those Jezzails pretty quickly. Why are they doing no damage? There we go. Now they're getting some damage down. They really have to help out Be'lakor. Be'lakor does have healing from nearby routing units, so if this game goes on, he'll be just fine. But for now, he's taking a lot of damage. As the Marauder Horsemen try and disrupt this other Jezzail, it looks like Be'lakor just takes it upon himself to do it. And Ackhold Hellbrass is still walking around trying to stop those Avalanche Mortars, but Chosen One's done a really good job of keeping everything online so far. Changeling is getting pretty low. Looks like a Pit of Shades is chucked out to really damage all these guys coming in. He just needs to lower that leadership so we can start getting that sweet, sweet healing again. Which it looks like right now he's not really getting a whole lot. There. Now he's getting some of that healing. Jezzails are still firing in on Be'lakor. He just has to hold on. Skaven have one Jezzail off in the middle of nowhere, which is nice. I mean, it's nice and safe over there. The Zongors and Marauders have taken a lot of damage, especially from these Poison Mortars that just do not accept defeat. They will never give up. Never give in. Belcor's still fighting. As more Rat Ogres go to stop him. Zongor's pressuring these Jezzails, just trying to keep him away from Bellicor while he fights for a little bit. The Cockatrice is back now. It should be able to dive in soon. As Akold still tries to stop the Avalanche Mortars, it's just not really going his way. The Cockatrice is probably needed over by Bellicor, though. That minus to the melee attack of all the Rat Ogres will really help him stay alive. So, yeah, it is going to dive over there now, and I think that's a good call. More Zongors trying to get to the Warplock Jezzails. Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves might be able to beat those guys. They're just too they're too wounded. Bounce power goes a little further into the favor of the Skaven as the Cockatrice and Bellicor fight Rat Ogres over and over again. Still trying to heal up poor little Bellicor. All 4 Rat Ogres are in this area. Unholy Clamor going to keep them in the fight for now. Another Howling Warpgale locks Bellicor and the Cockatrice in place. This Zongor is killing off some stuff, trying to get onto those Jezzails. Akold continues to fight, but the Cockatrice is getting real low. It's going to rout any second now. There it goes, and the Changeling is also very close to demonic instability. Like I said, he's still healing up from this Rat Ogre who is low on leadership, but that Jezzail shooting him in the back is doing so much damage. His leadership is just on the precipice of that demonic instability crumbling. He gets a charge off at last into these Avalanche Mortars. But the Jezzails are still poking and prodding him away. He's getting surrounded by Rat Ogres, and that is going to be GG. The Skaven will win it all under the leadership of Chosen One. That's really it. Everybody else is routing. There's no shot Akold Hellbrass can carry this game. Army losses is coming for him faster than you'd think. The Changeling can morph into Bellicor? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh, the dreaded 13th summon for the army losses. Brutal. GG's. GG's indeed. Jezzails all did fine. Avalanche Mortars did well throughout the game. They didn't get a lot of value, but man, they stayed online. Gutter Runners mostly got killed. Rat Ogres got a ton of value, and Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves did what they had to. On the other side, Changeling, as Bellicor got 2,500 value, still 1,000 short of paying for himself. He's very, very spendy. The Screamers got killed. Cockatrice and Akold did not get a lot of damage value out. Zongors did their best. Skirmish Cav did their best. But the Changeling and Akold are very difficult to get to pay for themselves. So very good games to everybody involved. I now have the task of figuring out who's all in the bracket and what to do about these things, right? So I'm going to heat up some lunch and work on that. Thank you all for hanging out at the stream today. We had great viewership. I do appreciate it. Our subscribers have trickled and stopped dead at 6.85K. So if any of you out there aren't subscribed, that would be greatly appreciated. But even if you don't, that's fine too. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.